Hey, what's up, everyone? Um, so Cold War mid-season 2 update patch notes. We're gonna kind of go through that and you know see what they're doing this season, see what's new, what we can expect, and see what we think about it. I haven't read through it yet. I haven't seen anything, so this is the first time for me, and we'll kind of go through. I'll give you my thoughts on what I think about it. So the next major update for Black Ops Cold War Season 2 Reloaded goes live on March 29th at 9 p.m. Pacific time. This is version 1.14. So 9 p.m. Pacific, that'd be 12 a.m. on the East Coast, 11 p.m. my time. So about an hour and 15 minutes is when this update is going to go through. I will be live streaming that update once I download it and try to get some games in, see some of the changes, and kind of go from there. So let's see what they're bringing. What's new? Multiplayer. Miami Strike 6v6. So we are getting one more 6v6 map. It's basically Miami, where they streamline the map layout, featuring an entirely new waterside path that opens up new close quarters opportunities. It is during the day too, so that's good. You know, Miami is it's one of those maps that nobody votes for, right? So we'll see how this map plays. Hopefully, it plays a lot faster, a lot better than the bigger Miami map. So we'll see how that goes. Car show taking over the streets with the road past the Paramore Hotel now sealed off for fast-paced action. Interesting. Jump into the playlist this week, so we're getting a 24/7 Miami Strike playlist featuring a mix of TDM, Domination, Kill Confirm, and Hardpoint modes. For those already looking forward to the next batch of 66 maps, Season 3 will be here before you know it, when we'll be dropping even more multiplayer maps to enjoy. So that's good. One of my biggest knocks on this game is the content. The number of maps we have, this game just really got boring to me personally, really fast. And, after the camo grind, it was just, I just don't enjoy playing it, They relaunched Nuketown, so it's not really a new map. It is, but it isn't. Raid, another remake. Express, another remake. So these are all maps they dropped after the initial launch. Apocalypse, I actually really like that map. I like how it plays. It's fast paced. It can be a little campy. But other than that, like, it is what it is. So at least Miami Strike playlist, something a little fresher, newer, even though it is a remake map of a map they already made, which kind of gets on my nerves, a little more originality would be nice in some of these games, but I get the nostalgia effect too. Mansion 2v2 3v3, new map. I don't really play that, so I don't care. Galova, which was the new Outbreak map, is now going to be part of Fireteam, which is pretty cool. All new 40-player Hardpoint. So, ooh, that's interesting. I want to check that out. So you're basically playing Fireteam in Galova, but instead of the dirty bombs, it's going to be a hardpoint mode. That could be pretty fun. I'm kind of excited about that. That's pretty dope. I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll check that out. Hopefully it plays really well. MultiTeam Hardpoint. You've never played the OBJ like this before. Our new large-scale MultiTeam Hardpoint mode drops 10 teams off of 4 into the biggest maps in the game to fight for control of multiple hardpoints at a time. Each set of hardpoints lasts 120 seconds before rotating to the next location, and unlike 6v6 and 12v12 hardpoint, Your team will earn 1 point each second for all teammates inside the hard point. That's cool. First squad to reach 1,000 points wins the match. Actually sounds pretty fun. New prop hunt maps and props. Prop hunt returns this week with 2 additional maps joining the rotation, Miami Strike and Satellite, so that's cool. We'll also refresh the prop selection for the majority of our existing maps to help keep those hunters on their toes, squat up and jump into the updated prop hunt. I personally don't play prop hunt. I've heard it's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people enjoy it and play it, so that sounds cool. At least getting some new content there in that game mode. League play is what it is. I don't really like league play in this game. It's better than Modern Warfare, but I don't. I think they could do a lot better job with league play. But some of the new stuff, the Lawbreaker wildcard will no longer allow any weapon to be put into either weapon slot in league play, so that's cool. So now you can't run like SMG AR. Players will only be able to use a primary and secondary weapon. Blah, blah, blah. So if you want to run 2 primary weapons in league play, you'll need to pick one up from the ground. Okay, that makes sense. So that's cool. Lawbreaker will now only allow players to equip multiple perks from the same perk category. So that's pretty cool. So now you basically, you're either running shotguns, your handguns, specials or whatever, launchers with your primary. So that's cool. Perkery wildcard will now be restricted completely in league play. So you can't run perk read anymore, which is fair, I guess. Kind of opens it up. That's pretty cool. We've also added new match suspension penalties for players who quit mid-match or engage in friendly fire to ensure a better competitor experience for all those. Okay, that's a big fix. That was much needed. That was actually one of my biggest knocks on league play, is people just quitting in the middle of the match, like kind of irritating, and then you lose the match. So that was one of my biggest ones. And then the friendly fire issue, like you run in that hardcore all the time, and then you run into it in league play as well. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Those are actually some really good changes to league play, so I may check that out again. Zombies, I just don't play zombies, so I'm not interested in that. Dead Ops, new Onslaught, LTM, content, PS4, PS5. So more zombie stuff. Weapon tuning update. You take weapon balancing seriously and make tuning decisions based on time to kill. Data as each new weapon is introduced to the meta. Okay, come on, you know what the stats are before you release it. I mean, you're designing this stuff, so that's kind of BS to me. You know, that's just all horseshit. New tuning changes in Season 2 Reloaded. We implement tuning to make the Krieg 6, FFAR, and the Groza more competitive. The assault rifle classes while adjusting the Milano, KSP, LC10, MAC-10, AK-74U, and SMG class. We've also made specific performance tuning to the RPG, 1911, Magnum, and more. These changes include complete tuning passes on muzzle and underbarrel attachments that affect recoil on assault rifles and SMGs, increasing damage for rockets against enemies with flak jacket and hardcore. Okay, we'll see what that's all about. And removing glint from sniper rifles with iron sights. Duh. Like, why was that in the game to begin with? So at least they fixed that. So some of you quick scopers will now be able to use those iron sights. Only for Black Ops Cold War and are not reflected in Warzone. Okay, so all these changes are just for Cold War, not in Warzone. We'll kind of have to wait to see what type of patch notes they have for that. For details on what's coming in Warzone, be sure to follow Raven Software on Twitter. More to come later in the season. Look for the introduction of Gunsmith Customs to create your own custom blueprints. That's something we've been asking for. I think that's the one where you can save your own custom blueprint, which is awesome. So you don't, like, if you have a favorite build on one of your favorite weapons and you decide to swap it out for whatever reason, you can save that build and you can just add it to any class you want. So save some time, and it's pretty dope. I really enjoyed that feature in Modern Warfare and in Warzone. So this is pretty cool. Hopefully they add that to Warzone for the Cold War weapons. We have it for the Modern Warfare weapons. Hopefully they add that into Warzone for the Cold War weapons as well. And our 6th new weapon of the season, the devastating ZRG 20mm sniper rifle. Ooh, I'm pretty excited for that. See what the damage range is. Hopefully that is viable, a really viable option in Warzone as well. As always, you can find more info on everything coming in Season 2 Reloaded on Call of Duty blog. Without further ado, here's what's coming, blah, blah, blah. 12 a.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Okay, weapons. Assault rifles, Krig 6. Improve visibility while firing in ADS. That was actually a big issue with Krig 6. It had one of the worst visibilities out of all the guns in the game, especially when you're ADS. Even though it doesn't have a lot of recoil, it had a ton of visual recoil, which like was really annoying. Complete tuning pass on weapon accuracy. I'm not exactly 100% sure what that means. So more accurate. I don't. Did you make the Krig 6 more accurate? Maybe visually. Weapon movement and visual clarity while firing with any optic attachment. That's huge. That's actually a really good buff to that gun. Address instances of the weapon feeling floaty and firing for a prolonged amount of time. Yeah, I guess that was yeah. So the Krig 6 got buffed. The FFAR increased ballistic speed by 12.8%. I mean, it already had pretty decent bullet velocity, I feel like. This one just needed a recoil buff with like a minor tweak in recoil. I felt like maybe a increase to the damage. I think I watch Exclusive Ace and he does, like, if they took the, because it's a 27 damage, they took it from 27 to 28, that would have improved it dramatically. But ballistic speed, I'm assuming that's bullet velocity. But that could actually make this gun pretty OP. 12.8%. Increase maximum damage range on the Groza by 40%. That's actually huge. Hopefully Groza will be viable. Attachments. Complete tuning pass on muzzle and underbarrel attachments that affect recoil on assault rifles. I'm not sure if that's a buff or a nerf. We'll have to kind of wait and see for the update. Complete tuning pass. I don't know what that. We'll have to kind of see. SMGs, Milano 821, increase mid-range damage by 10%. That's good. Increase mid-range damage range by 33%. Increase sprint out speed by 14.2%, which is actually pretty good. Increase raise speed by 11%. So I think that raise speed, that's like sprint to fire time. So that's actually really good buff there. Slightly increase ADS in speed. So maybe that is, I think that might be your movement speed while ADS. I don't know why they wouldn't use the same terminology as in-game. That's kind of confusing. Takes away a little bit of the excitement because you're trying to figure this out. Those are all good buffs to the Milano. I don't know that this makes it completely viable because right now the biggest drawback with the Milano is the bullet velocity. The bullet velocity on this gun is the worst in the game. It's horrible. Um, and it's very noticeable by the time you fire the gun till the time the first bullet hits your opponent. Like, it's very noticeable, and that was the biggest thing I would have like seen change on a Milano. Um, was the actual bullet velocity on that. So maybe this is referring to bullet velocity. If this is, that's huge, and that actually makes a Milano like almost meta. Uh, it could. KSP 45. This is one of my favorite guns. I love this gun. I had so much fun with this gun. Doing the camo grind, reduce burst delay by 20%. That's awesome. Increase ballistic speed by 32.5%. This thing is going to be OP, I think. This is probably the new SMG meta. Like, you could literally run a burst loadout with this in like the AUG or the M16 in this game and absolutely fry kids. Because it already has one of the fastest times to kill, I think. So, with these buffs, like, the KSP is going to be good. I'm actually pretty excited to kind of use it. I'll probably use it with that new sniper. We'll check that out, see what we got to do to unlock that. The AK-74U, reduce accuracy with prolonged firing. So more recoil the longer you fire it. And then reduce muzzle velocity by 23.4%. Ouch. These two changes to the AK-74U might have nerfed that gun into the ground. LC-10, reduce max damage range by 41%. Slightly reduce mid-range damage. This gun has horrible sprint to fire. Like, I just personally using the gun, doing the camo grind, getting my dark matter on this, like it just like there were so many instances where like I pulled the trigger and like the sprint to fire and I died because sprint to fire time on this thing I just feel like is really bad. And now with these nerfs, LC-10 is probably no longer the play. MAC-10 modified bullet pattern to add slightly more horizontal trajectories. Why can't they just use recoil? So they increased the horizontal recoil on the MAC-10, which is unfortunate. I felt like the MAC-10 actually needed a buff, not a nerf, in Cold War. It should be left alone in Warzone, but in Cold War it needed a little bit of buff because of that sprint to fire time, because of the open bolt delay on this. Kind of makes it not really viable, and this I think is just going to make it worse. But we'll kind of check out the patterns here in another video, hopefully. So attachments, complete tuning pass on muzzle and underbarrel attachments that affect recoil on SMGs. Again, not 100% sure if this is a nerf or a buff. Hopefully it's a I feel like the recoil on these guns in this game are actually pretty good. Most of the guns are pretty easy to control, so I have a feeling it's going to be a nerf and we're going to see some added recoil. Like, it'll still reduce recoil probably, but not as much. Light machine guns, light machine gun alpha. I don't know which one that is. Reduce max damage range by 25%. Ouch. I have a feeling that's a stoner. Sniper rifles, disable glint effect on sniper rifles with iron sights equipped. Already covered that. Pistols 1911, increase ADS speed by 11%. I don't know that you needed that. Magnum, slightly decrease hipfire accuracy. Dual wield bullet trajectories are now more varied when firing both guns simultaneously. That's actually a good nerf there, because those things were melting people. Redesigned the 4.7 takedown barrel attachment into a tight snub barrel. This attachment now adds damage to both enemies and vehicles. So that's interesting. So they gave it a buff with this attachment, a nerf with this attachment, and decrease the hipfire accuracy on the Magnum. So that could be some interesting testing. The launchers, the thing that was the death of me, literally dropped my KD by 0.20, 0.25. I'm sorry, doing the camo grind. Took me from a 1.55 to a 1.3. Just grinding camo launch, the camos on these launchers. It drove me nuts. Slightly, the RPG-7 slightly increased blast radius. That's good. Greatly increased length of straight rocket flight path. Oh, thanks for nothing. I mean, Jesus. You know how hard it was to hit aerial streaks with the RPG in this game? And now they just made it so much easier, I bet. We'll have to check that out. General, rockets now inflict more damage to enemies with flakjack and hardcore. That needed that. Still requires a direct hit for a one-hit kill. Okay. That's good. That's good. They needed that too. Attachments, infantry V-choke. So this is for shotguns. Updated attachment description to clarify pros and cons. Weapon progression. Players can now earn weapon XP and challenge progress by using any weapon, even if they do not currently own it. For example, using another player's weapon picked up from the ground that the player does not currently own. Interesting. This is a money grab for blueprints, because I know they gave this example, but that's kind of BS in my opinion. This is a money grab. This is a straight money grab for blueprints. So basically now you can unlock that weapon using a blueprint. You can get your progression probably using that store-bought blueprint. You can still get the progression on that gun. So you don't even have to unlock a weapon. You can buy a blueprint, progress that weapon up, unlock all the attachments for that blueprint. If I'm reading this correctly, I think this is just a pure money grab by Treyarch and Activision. Movement, slightly reduced speed of changing stances from stand, crouch, and prone. Additional adjustments to come to address remaining disparity between first person and third person perspectives. Yeah, that's interesting. Combat record, added vehicle section. Addressed an issue with the killed by stat not tracking properly. Okay. Multiplayer maps, Miami Strike. Miami Strike will replace the original Miami map in all core modes with the exception of Combined Arms, S&D, and VIP Escort. Interesting. So they're basically saying we made a mistake. So this is going to be a bigger map for S&D though? Really? You would need that big of a map for S&D? I mean, come on. VIP Escort, I kind of get. Combined Arms. Miami actually plays okay in Combined Arms. Covered that. Mansion added to Roseheads. Don't care. Added to rotation multi-team modes. Apocalypse. Hardpoint. Addressed an issue that allowed players to capture E3 hardpoint outside of the intended boundary. Interesting. The Pines Control. Adjusted Zone B to allow capturing against the pizza counter. Raid Hardpoint. Adjusted distance of spawns from P1 to each side of the map to reduce chances of spawning beside or behind enemy team. Oh my god, thank god. I don't know how many times I spawned in like in the middle of an enemy team, or like you spawn in and you're getting shot right away. So that's actually a good fix to raid, especially in Hardpoint. Garrison Control. Extended Zone A up to the platform outside of the green room. Okay. That's cool. So you can actually start capturing that or contend it on that platform as those guys are camping in the green room. Okay, control conditional attacker spawns added to reduce travel time to zone A. That's actually really good. Hardpoint, remove spawns that were too close to P2 and P5. Thank you. Hardpoint added a larger spread of spawns for P1, P2, and P3 to reduce chances of spawning behind the enemy team. Again, another good fix. Miami original, scaled down bullet collision on the Miami patrol van. Interesting. Modes, multi-team hardpoint, new okay, we talked about this, so that's basically like fire team, hardpoint, prop hunt, control, new custom game options added, time per segment. I don't play custom, so address an issue where the player could hear incorrect VO lines when beginning a round as a VIP. That's a good fix. Multi-team, address an issue where teammates could spawn on top of one another after a team wipe respawn. Okay, general, enemy red dots will now be prioritized on top of the objective icons on the minimap. Oh, only on the minimap. That's a good fix, but what they really need to fix is the like when you're playing domination, or domination specifically, is like you'll see A, B, and C, the little flags, and you could have an enemy in front of that. Like on Garrison, for example, they could be in that green room, and it'll show like the A flag above their head, like and hide the enemy. They need to fix that like ASAP, because that's kind of annoying. 24/7, Golova, multi-team mosh pit. Mosh pit of multi-team modes included 4-player hardpoint, Ruka, Alpine, Sanatorium, and Golova. Snipers only. I know a lot of people will be excited by that. For Jesus Christ, take Nuketown out already. Jesus. Challenges, general. Flashbang, stun challenges are now easier to complete. These guys are killing me, man. Like, you grind for Dark Matter Ultra and you put yourself through all this stress. Like, it's a good fix, like, don't get me wrong, but like, oh, so annoying. I mean, it would be easier, it's gonna be easier for like new weapons that drop, but like, come on already. That's so annoying. Fog of War, address inconsistencies with the smoke grenade cover assist combat stat. Address issues with the Fog of War challenge and sight unseen metal not tracking properly with the danger close wildcard equipped. Update challenge descriptions for clarity. Okay, so those are good fixes. Gestures can now be used before the round starts. That's I knew. That's just kind of a troll thing, I guess. Social, updated messaging when a player is kicked from the party. Okay. Turrets, addressed an issue where players on mounted turrets could be immune to dirt bike vehicles. That's a weird, I didn't even know that was a bug. Audio, address an issue where VO would say no target is destroyed if the attack helicopter was destroyed with a cruise missile. Okay. League play, wild cards, lawbreaker, covered that. Perk, match suspensions, cover that. UI, extended placement bracket to include top 25 and top 50. Updated a gem representation in rank progression screen. Updated ladder event complete screen with new gem celebration animation. Added location to the top of league pick ladder to showcase current placement gems. Blah blah blah. Zombies. Don't really care. This is all zombies. Feel free to pause the video, look at it, but I'm not going to cover that. I don't really care about zombies. Campaign, don't care. All right, so overall, pretty good up. So we'll see. We'll do the updates. Like I said, we'll be streaming live over on Twitch after I get the update in and get that going. So come check me out over on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/ruthless_OG_. We stream pretty much 4 to 5 days a week over there, and we are pushing for affiliate. just need one more. Basically, 2 average viewers right now. Couldn't be more excited about that. I'm just happy anybody's watching me, but one more average viewer, and to kind of to hit affiliate over there, so that's pretty cool. Feel free to hit that subscribe button if you found this information useful. If you want to see more content like this, hit the like button, the subscribe button, to get those bell notifications, and or hit the bell notifications to know every time I post a new video. With that, we'll see you over on Twitch or in the next video. So thanks for watching. Peace out.